measured if someone would actually support their service provider. Not only on the short term because he's cheap, or well, like Sven says, the quality is okay. No, really, I go for that. I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't trade him for someone else. This is about a true promoter.
Yeah, so normally 2 out of 3 say, well, if you ask me, I don't know. Or I will certainly not recommend him. But for the number 1 supplier in the Dutch market, and it's Accenture in our case, it's 74% of their business is based on clients that are fans. So for them it's really easy to hold those clients because they're extremely satisfied. So for Accenture it's easier to get more business, to keep the current clients, because all they do is keep their clients satisfied. And when you keep your clients satisfied, they will buy more from you and in a longer relationship.
The same as you start working for an IT company and they show you a lot of logos. Well, we work for part of Volkswagen, or we work for Credit Suisse. Don't buy that shit. Well, look to what kind of businesses, how long have been to in a relationship with the customers? Is it interesting work? Start questioning on that. Do they promote your company? Ask questions like that because you have more interesting work.
Yeah. That's of course a difficult question. What we already said is just focusing on technology, that will not be enough. You have to have a critical mass of knowledge. So that means both IT knowledge, but also business knowledge in certain areas. Marco already mentioned some examples you can choose from, but that's really not our expertise to do that for you or as a country. Because what you see is you have diminishing returns on scale. So for India you see it already. Just having thousands of people within your company is not enough to win business. So you really have to be good at something specific.
There's a very funny story. You have a software architect. Some banks like ING, they had a lot of software architects for the same project. And they figured out if you only have 1 architect for each project, you have 80% success rate. And if you have 2 architects, it goes down to 62%. And then, for example, if you have 17 architects, you really have a problem because those guys don't communicate. And the rate of success was only less than 20%. So you have too many people on the same project and you have 1,000 people doing the program or the coding for one large system. It's almost, the cost of coordination goes up and up and up and up. And this is about scale and scope. So if you have more than 200 or 300 programmers, there's nothing extra gained in adding more and more and more because you need more overhead.
Yeah. So it's more about execution and not about just doing software development. Okay. Talk about technology, we relate also to the building industry. We have a lot of architects and that kind of stuff. And but what we really think that's
quality.
So if you compare yourself to the building industry as a software developer, well, that only goes so far, because what we say is software is never finished. And we ask the audience often from, if you have the choice of getting a mortgage, would you invest in a house or would you invest it in a new software project? And most of the people say, well, just give me the house. I know for sure that it's one time it's finished, I can live in it, and it will last for 20 years or more. And if you look at a software project, most likely it's never finished. You don't know what it will do when the project is finished, because in the meantime the business just keeps adding functionality and keeps changing functionality. And technology is going so fast that you never know what you're going to end up with. And if it's finished, the world has changed, so the software has to change as well. So what you're doing as a software developer, it's not really building systems, it's just adding new functionality and keeping up with the life cycle of the business. So that's really different point of view in software developing. And we see that a lot of companies are just shifting that perspective of software projects as something that has to be finished, and they move into a life cycle approach. So some kind of software is never finished. And the same is with application testing. Application testing is not just checking do we deliver what is actually agreed upon. It is also from, if we change something, is the business going, stays it up. So if you, a lot of companies, we are always amazed at it. We ask, do you have a testing procedure before applying a change? And say, well, no, we just apply a change and well, we see what happens. But you can, for example, a large insurance company, they made a small change and they said, well, we don't have to test it. It's small, we understand the system. And the result was, because of that small change, the complete billing system went out of operations. So they could not bill for a couple of weeks. Then the business is not so happy with you, so you see that testing a small part of your infrastructure have a really large business impact. So your job is not really about testing applications, it's making sure that the business stays up and running.
The same as, for example, are you managing a Unix box or a Unix server, or are you managing a bank? That's all different. If you have an online banking application, and you're managing a bank, you don't manage a Unix system. So that has to be your mindset. And it's the same as a lot of job titles. Well, people in the real world, they don't understand. So yeah, I'm a problem manager. That's always I'm a problem manager. That's not a real job title. No, actually, people use that. I'm a function point analyst. Function point analyst, what the hell is that? So we should learn it having job titles that adapt to the real world and the importance of IT. So many business, I don't know, sometimes you ask on a birthday party and there's an IT guy, what are you doing? You get an answer and they don't know what you're doing. You're from outer space, like Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or someone else. So, but they don't relate to you as real people. And that's very important in the business community. They accept IT to be their best friend instead of to be the Greek squad. It's the user. There's a great story about it behind it.
Yeah, we won't say that your users are cows, but actually this cow is one of the clients. We met at a small company in Turkey. They also are comparable to ISDC.
Ask the question first. The question to them, if they know the user. So how much does this user sleep? How do you think, how much hours does a cow needs to sleep? How much hour do you sleep per day?
I'm sleeping
8 hours. Not during lunchtime. No, 8 hours. So how much does a cow sleep? Do you think?
A lot.
A lot. Does anybody have a family with farmers or something with cows? Anyone born on a farm?
4 hours, 3 hours. Yeah.
You're born on a farm?
No.
You're conceived on a farm. Okay, now, a cow sleeps only 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day. Now what's happening in the dairy industry? They use milking, the electronic milking systems. So a milking robot is used. So the cow goes in, and there's a milk machine. It gets cuddled, like it's a brush in the head, so it gets quiet. And suddenly the system... Don't touch. You know what happens there. So the system checks everything. But it's 24/7 operation. And this is the question, this is the first thing, because the IT developers, they love cows. They know everything about cows. The first question they ask to the audience, how much hours does a cow sleep? And people say 8. If you say 8, you don't need 20/7 support. No, but the cow never only sleeps an hour. And some cows sleep between 10 and 11, another one between 2 and 3 during the night. So 24 hours per day, cows need milking. And if you need, and especially if you have 3 production runs, if you don't milk during the night, what the old farming system was, you only get 2 production runs per day. So 2 times you can milk the cow. If you do it also during the night with a robot, they have 3 production schemes. For example, in the Netherlands, they use this system. In the Netherlands, they only have 1/10 of all the cows in Turkey. There are 22 million cows in Turkey. There are only about 2 million cows in the Netherlands. We produce the same amount of milk. And yet just because of IT. So IT creates first a happy cow, because the cow can be milked during the night. He gets up and says, I'm going to be milked. So that's the cow. It's about the cow. Meet the user. And these ITers, they went to farms in the Netherlands. So the Turkish guys go over. It's the same, you have to see the real action, your customer in the wild. It was very fun. And it was an IT guy, the project manager. He had a disease on his leg, so he was a very crippled man. But when he spoke about cows, his stature rose. This was a very enthusiastic person. And everybody loved him. And Lely, the customer, 2,000 people in the Netherlands, they love the IT guys. They love them. Really, they care about them. They can buy. These are our best ITs we could ever have. We had IT guys in the Netherlands. We fired them because they weren't good enough as the Turkish guys, because they know everything about cows. That's a very good lesson. I won't touch you.